Good morning, YouTube. So with today's video, I'm going to give you 5 great, affordable, inexpensive fragrances that are great from the transition from summer to autumn. Alright, now these are all pretty much cheapies. Now just a little word of caution, or like a little FYI. These made a video that I filmed yesterday. I tried filming a video yesterday, so I did top 10 cheapies. Because I am so lazy, these are actually like the transitional fragrances. I wasn't gonna do a video like this originally, but because people have been asking me for like a little while now to do something like this, here we are. So I'm lazy, but at least I'm letting you know, okay? But first one is a fragrance that came out in the 90s. So this one might resonate a little bit more with the older demographics because it is old. That's gonna be Moschino's Uomo. This, I believe, came out between 96 and 98. I might be completely wrong, but I do know this, that Jeremy Fragrance really did hype this one up a couple years ago. I was probably back in 2015 to 2017. And I completely agree with his thoughts. It's sexy, it's musky, it's manly, but this is where I kind of I have maybe like a little bit of a difference of opinion. It is manly, but at the same time, it's not like your traditional man's man. In some ways it is, but it has a bit of a gentleman's touch to it because it is kind of powdery. So with this one here, you are gonna get the musk. The musk is definitely there. It's a very musky fragrance, but it's also quite aldehydic. You are gonna get some kumquat to add the citrusy component. You are gonna get some coriander to kind of freshen it up a little bit in a spicy sort of manner. Some cyclamen to add a little bit of a floral touch, which I personally don't get. It is woody with the cedar. It's actually quite dense with the cedar, but you're also gonna get amber wood as well to add a little bit of an ambery touch, but woods as well. So again, manly, but also gentlemanly. Yes, I would say masculine, traditional masculine, but in a gentlemanly manner. Very much like the Kingsman. Now, when I'm thinking of really manly fragrances, I'm thinking of like Brock Lesnar type of masculine. Okay, that I used him a lot in the GIFs, but he's just a really burly masculine, bushman kind of masculine. This I find is kind of like the Kingsman sort of masculine, and I've used them quite a bit when I describe things such as this. So with the Kingsmen, they are traditional in the way that they present themselves, as in their manners and their wardrobe, because they wear suit and ties. So they're traditionally manly in that, but they're also gentlemanly as well because of their mannerisms. Okay, I find that a lot of the people that I encounter every single day are not like prim and proper. Well, mind you, look where I work. I work in public transit, and it's not a jab at the general public. But even I am not prim and proper. I don't wear a suit and ties every single day. I am a little old school, which in my thoughts and in my mannerisms of courtesy and just general mannerisms. But that's just, with every generation, I'm sorry, that's becoming less and less. I'm sorry, I'm an old man right now just ranting about young people, but you see what I see, shit, I even see it when I go to Starbucks. Some of y'all don't even know how to say thank you, for Christ's sake, but this is masculine, but gently, traditionally in the both sense, okay? So if you want something that's different, that's sexy, but at the same time, maybe a little classy, this is not all that classy. If you were looking for something from this brand that's a lot more classy, I would go with Toy Boy. Which is kind of weird because Toy Boy, the fragrance itself is very classy with the rose, but the bottle itself, this brand is just, I've seen their Instagram and I'm like, damn, it is what it is. But if you want something that's a little old school, musky and powdery, this is one that you're definitely gonna like. For fragrance number 2, whenever I've mentioned this fragrance, I've always mentioned this analogy or this description whenever I've mentioned it in a top list sort of video. So that it smells like a dad, and that's gonna be Mercedes-Benz Man Grey. For me, it smells like what a father figure would smell like. Now, when I came into this community, I remember a few people saying that YSL, oh boy, Rive Gauche by YSL, it's a barbershop smell, that it smells like that. This is not barbershop, okay? but it smells a little old school. Now, there is definitely musky tones to this one here. There's definitely the amber and some amberwood. There is sage, olibanum, and pink pepper. So some of those notes themselves do make it a little bit more of a mature fragrance. But if you're someone in their 20s who enjoys this, but also this, then by all means, wear them. But they just, both fragrances do have a little bit of a bit of an old school sort of vibe. This definitely, just because it is the oldest scent in this list. Number 5 is a little bit more of an older scent as well, but this itself just smells like what someone who has like a few kids, a house, who has been working at the same job, or just a little bit more ahead in life with like maybe a career or two smells like. It's versatile, it's signature scent worthy. So if you're looking for something that's resinous, ambery, woody, and definitely musky, this is one that you're definitely gonna look into. And longevity is decent as well. It ranges anywhere from 6 to 8 hours, while this one here ranges anywhere from 6 to 7 hours. Fragrance number 5. Now, I think that this will do very well with the young guys, as this has been kind of like marketed towards the younger generation. But if you're an older guy who likes it, then by all means wear it. And that's gonna be Perry Ellis America 2019. This just has a little bit more of a playful vibe, but at the same time, it has, you know, in some ways, a little bit more of a serious vibe as well. So the playful vibe comes from that pineapple. It's a very juicy, like authentic sort of pineapple, and I'm saying this, and it's Perry Ellis. I know, but Perry Ellis did a great job when it came to this fragrance, or whoever the perfumier was, I should say, that they hired. Did an amazing job, because the pineapple is very authentic. It's just very citrusy and very, very juicy, very fruity. It's a sweet, juicy pineapple. It's very much like when you're pouring or like when you're drinking pineapple juice. That's what this is. And this also has birch towards the base. So, but you get a little bit of that birch in the opening, and in some ways, this does have that Credaventus DNA, just the vibe itself. In the beginning, maybe like the first 30 minutes to 60 minutes, it does have that Credaventus like vibe, but eventually when the myrrh, the amber, and the rose along with the lavender kick in, it becomes its own fragrance. You know, the rose itself is more in the background than anything, but you are gonna get like a myrrh that adds a little bit of a creamy vibe to it. You're gonna get the amber, which is really nice, and the lavender itself freshens it up. It is very different. It's pretty much Aventus with amber and a little bit of rose. So, kind of weird, but that's what it is. That's like the best way to describe this, all right? And I do think, again, that it's maybe a little bit more youthful. Like, it's playful, but at the same time, because the rose, the amber, and the myrrh, they do add a little bit of a mature feel to it. So I do think it might resonate a little bit more with the young guys, because it is so heavy in that pineapple. But because of some of the ambers as well, and like, I would say it's pineapple and then amber, okay? But the amber and like the myrrh with the rose might intrigue some of the older guys as well. It's pretty much an ageless scent, but in my opinion, and I'm just babbling and I'm just repeating myself, I think because of the marketing and just like that heavy pineapple, that it's gonna grab the attention of the younger guys more so than the older guys, okay? It's perfect for the spring and summertime, but it's also perfect for the transition from summer to spring as well. It's every day. You can wear this casually, you can wear it to school, you can wear it to work, and longevity off this is not that bad neither. It's like 6 to 7 hours. Fragrance number 4. This is actually really good. Came out in 2017, and that's gonna be Lacoste L'Homme. Now, when it comes to this brand, Lacoste, they're very safe. They're very mass appealing. They're easy to wear, and in my opinion, the brand is kind of boring. But that's what I am. That's the type of fragrances that I like to wear. Just the generic mass appealing stuff. This is different in that they definitely took a few steps outside the box, because it has rhubarb. The rhubarb adds a sour tart component to it. So it is quite citrusy. You do get that rhubarb. There is quince. There's also ginger that does that spices it up, and it also energizes it a little bit. There's vanilla to sweeten it up. There's almond, so you are gonna get that almond, but also that creamy vanilla. And there's some woods. Now I don't know if it's like sandalwood, birch, cedar, whatever, but there is a bit of a woody component towards the base. But very, very like earthy type of rhubarb. When I was a kid, I loved eating rhubarb. Believe it or not, it's sour and tart tasting. But what we used to do, especially with my grandparents, because they grew it in their backyard, we would just add like some sugar in a bowl, and we just like scoop it up and eat it like that, just to kind of like balance out like the sweet and the sour. That's me. I'm sweet, but I'm also sour. So that's very much my personality. Because I do go on these old man rants, I know. But this is like, it might resonate a little bit more with the young people out there, but I just find that the ginger and the rhubarb might appeal to like the older guys as well, because it does add a little bit more of a mature vibe to it. Not all that much, but a little bit. But I think it's so different than a lot of their other freshies out there. This is not a freshie, but that's what the brand is. They just do a lot of like summer freshies. This is perfect for the spring, summertime, no, but it's great for the autumn. Like not when it's cold out, but like the transition from summer to autumn, when it's still warm, but it's getting cooler. If you wear this in November, I'm based out of Toronto, okay? If you wear this in like November and it's like 5 degrees or like even like 8 degrees, then no, you know, but if it's like 12 or 13, then yes. So that's Celsius. Fahrenheit, I know that, man, I wish America would just get on board with the rest of the world, but you like to make things so difficult for everybody. This, you know, that's just facts. But like, that's probably like late 40s, early 50s, like Fahrenheit, so, you know. But yeah, decent scent, good for like the office, everyday casual. I think it's also a great night out scent, but not club, you know, like a date, you know, like a casual date, you know, dinner and a movie, just like dinner and then like maybe billiards afterwards, or like dinner and like a walk, you know, but it's gotta be a little bit warmer out at night, okay? Because it's not gonna cut through like almost 0 or 30 degrees Fahrenheit, because America, once again, likes to make shit difficult for the rest of the world. Get on par, okay, America, please. And longevity, not bad neither, 6 to 8 hours. Fragrance number 5 is my least favorite in this video, but it had to make the cut because it's a very well-loved scent, and for what you're spending, you're gonna spend about like 30 to 35 bucks Canadian. It's great bang for your buck. That's gonna be Burberry Touch. I personally don't like this one because I'm a little old school, as I did state, but I don't really like my fragrances to be too old-fashioned. This has a little bit of an old-fashioned vibe because it does have violet leaves that adds a very aromatic component, and it's got Artemisia, which adds a very herbal component, but it's also quite musky as well. I do like musk. I haven't showered this morning, but I will be after the video because, you know, I'm doing work that I enjoy. You know, I actually enjoy making content. Even though it doesn't get views, I do enjoy this. This is kind of like therapy for me, so. But it is musky. It is aromatic, it is herbal, but there's also some vetiver to give it a little bit of like an earthy tone, but there's also nutmeg and pepper or coriander. I think it's pepper and nutmeg to add a little bit of spice to it, a little bit of like a freshness to it, like a fresh spicy is what I'm trying to say. But if you like a little bit more vintage fragrances, something that's a little bit more mature, this is one that you might want to check out. And this is not like all that old, like, yeah, it's like over 20 years old. I believe it came out in 2000, but it just has that older vibe. This is the oldest in the list, and I prefer this one. This is just a little bit too old school for me. This is what a gentleman, like an old school gentleman, in my opinion, would smell like more so than this one here. I think that this is a great everyday, but have a bit of a sense of style. And if you work in an office where you have to dress in a suit and tie, this is a perfect suit and tie scent. This is actually quite classy, in my opinion. It's just, again, something that I personally don't enjoy, and longevity is solid as well. It ranges anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. And guys, that's it. That is 5 great, cheap, inexpensive fragrances for the transition from summer to autumn. Any reviews that I've done on these, they will all be down in the description box below, just in case you want to get a little bit more of a detailed description. Also, it doesn't help if I get a few extra clicks. And if those ads are running on those videos, let them ride, please. So guys, if you like this very video, leave me one of these. And because that this is like an inexpensive list, why don't you check out right here. And thank you for your time, take care, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody.